I now give the floor to the distinguished ambassador of Sri Lanka. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairperson, Director General, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, on behalf of my delegation, allow me to extend warm felicitations to you, Ambassador Dr. Christoph Israng of Germany, on your election as the chairperson of the 21st session of the CSP. I am confident that under your astute guidance, the deliberations of this conference will lead to a successful conclusion. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our profound appreciation to Ambassador Eduardo Ibarralo Nicolin of Mexico for his able stewardship and wise counsel during the preceding session of the CSP. Further, I would like to convey our sincere thanks to the Director General of the OPCW, His Excellency Ahmad Usumshu, for his outstanding leadership, and the Technical Secretariat for its dedicated and indefatigable efforts to ensure the effective implementation of the CWC. Mr. Chairperson, my delegation aligns itself with the statement delivered by the distinguished ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Her Excellency Haifa Aissami, on behalf of the NAM CWC state parties and China. We are on the threshold of celebrating the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the OPCW next year in April, providing us yet another opportunity to reflect on the road that we have traveled so far in achieving the stated objective of the OPCW, of the CWC, of chemical weapons disarmament. Comprising 192 member states, the CWC is the only disarmament treaty that is dedicated to the total elimination of chemical weapons from the world. The OPCW, the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2013, with its vast experience and reservoir of knowledge, stands as the world's leading chemical security organization, having successfully overseen the destruction of 94% of the declared chemical weapons stockpiles in the world. With a record of such remarkable progress and success, still the challenge of achieving a world free of chemical weapons remains unfulfilled. The recent spate of horrendous terrorist attacks and the rise of non-state actors and the capability to manufacture and use chemical weapons and toxic chemicals highlight the urgent need for states to enhance their readiness and ability to meet such threats. In this context, we commend the establishment of the Rapid Response Assistance Team as a timely initiative to enhance the capacity and readiness of the Technical Secretariat to provide swift responses and assistance to the state parties on request against the use of chemical weapons. We believe that the scope of the RAT should not be limited to chemical weapons related incidents, but also extended to cover chemical accidents. Mr. Chairperson, my delegation believes that the ongoing discussions in the open-ended working group on terrorism under the able leadership of the distinguished ambassador of Ghana, Dr. Tony Aido, and at the sub-working group on non-state actors under the able stewardship of Her Excellency Maria Teresa Infante, Ambassador of Chile, are of the utmost importance to explore ways and means to address the menace of chemical terrorism and strengthen national capacities of member states. As identified during these deliberations, my delegation believes that the full and effective implementation of Article 7 remains paramount in addressing the threat posed by non-state actors using chemical weapons as well as toxic chemicals as weapons. In this regard, Sri Lanka welcomes the assistance provided by the Technical Secretariat to states parties which do not have enabling legislation to draft relevant laws. However, we believe that the Technical Secretariat should also assist states parties which have such delegation in order to enable them to identify gaps in their existing national measures to meet current and foreseeable future challenges, including the threat of chemical terrorism by non-state actors. Technical assistance and support for such measures should be provided through tailor-made programs following a careful study of the needs of the states parties, since one size does not fit all. Mr. Chairperson, my delegation underscores the crucial need for international cooperation and assistance in the areas of verification, capacity building and assistance, and protection for the peaceful applications of chemistry, and to strengthen the national capacities in chemical emergency responses. In this context, I am pleased to inform this August Assembly that the 5th Regional Basic Training Course on emergency response to chemical incidents for states parties in Asia, organized by the National Authority of Sri Lanka with the assistance of the Technical Secretariat, will be held from the 6th to the 10th of February 2017 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. The objective of the program is to provide participants adequate training on civil defense, civil protection, and decontamination operations in contaminated areas and countermeasures in the event of incidents involving chemical warfare agents or toxic industrial chemicals. Further, as part of the OPCW Associate Program 2016, Camso Lodestar Private Limited of Sri Lanka hosted the industrial attachment of 2 participants from Tunisia and Paraguay in September 2016. Mr. Chairperson, in strengthening the future role of the OPCW as an efficient and effective disarmament organization, my delegation welcomes with appreciation the establishment of the open-ended working group on future priorities under the able leadership of the co-chairs of South Africa and Canada. We are confident that given the vast and multifaceted experience of the 2 co-chairs, the working group would be able to formulate a well-balanced and a focused program of work and methods with the cooperation of state parties to be taken up at the 4th Review Conference in 2018. Mr. Chairman, Sri Lanka wishes to take this opportunity to remind possessor states to take necessary steps without any further delay to expedite the destruction of their declared chemical weapons stockpiles, all chemical weapons and abandoned chemical weapons as stipulated, and since the existence of such chemical weapons continue to pose a threat to global security. We welcome the announcement of the successful removal of precursor chemicals from Libya on 27th August 2016 as part of the ongoing operations undertaken in collaboration with the Libyan National Authority to verifiably eliminate remaining chemical weapon stocks, and sincerely thank the Technical Secretariat and all other associated states and organizations for this significant achievement. Mr. Chairperson, Sri Lanka attaches high importance to the Convention on the Prohibition of Development, Production, Stockpiling, and the use of chemical weapons. In this context, Sri Lanka values the work of the OPCW. The use of chemical weapons anywhere, irrespective of circumstances, cannot be justified. The OPCW and the UN JIM report highlights the use of chemical weapons in Syria, which is of grave concern, and we would like to emphasize the urgent need for decisive action in this regard. Mr. Chairperson, in conclusion, I wish to request that this statement be circulated as an official series document of this conference and to be placed on the OPCW website and external. Thank you very much.